Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Let It Rip Sports Show. Today, the news came out that Kevin Love has opted out of his contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers. When I first got the memo, I didn't know what to think. Now that I've thought about it, I say, what's wrong with the man gauging the market for his services? No problem at all. And I started to think about it off the top of my head, and I said, you know what, I got to do a video about where would be the best destinations for this man Kevin Love. And I came out with 4 teams so far. And the first team is the Houston Rockets. I feel that if he goes to the Houston Rockets, that would be a great matchup, a great teaming up, if you will, with James Harden. I know Dwight Howard is there, but he's just not a consistent scorer. And it pains me to say that because I believe he can be so much better than what he is, speaking of Dwight Howard. Now, if you add somebody like Kevin Love, you get a guy who can get you 20 rebounds, get you 15 to 20 points, 20 and 20. That's what he got when he was with the Timberwolves. Then you allow Dwight Howard to be what he really is, which pains me to say, a great rebounder and a great defensive presence. He's not a guy who can get you 24 and 10. Dwight Howard can't. He just can't. At least when it matters most. So that's one option. Option number 2, OKC. Now, I know there's a big issue with Kevin Durant's contract. Will he stay with the Thunder or will he go somewhere else? Washington's been thrown out as a possible destination for Kevin Durant. But if you get Kevin Love, you can pair him with Ibaka. That's I don't know who gets any boards if you got Ibaka and Kevin Love. And then you got Westbrook. That's a great matchup for me. That's a perfect core nucleus for the OKC Thunder. And if you can get several shooters or maybe a backup point guard or whatever, that becomes a very solid team. And all of a sudden, OKC goes from bottom feeders to immediate contenders to the Golden State Warriors. My third team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I know he didn't have a great year, but when you have 3 superstars like that, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James, your numbers are going to dip. And I thought it took a while for them to integrate Kevin Love into the system in which they play. Because usually in Minnesota, Kevin Love was able to basically have free range and get the ball wherever he wanted. Basically, I thought he was better when he got the ball kind of at the elbow, where he could decide where he wanted to attack you, whether it was a post or he could go back and shoot a 3. That kind of changed when you had the spacing kind of changed, or his spacing kind of changed when you had Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. They kind of relegated him to being more of a jump shooter, which he can shoot jumpers, but I feel that he was most dangerous when you didn't know where he was going to be on the court. Now they basically knew where he was going to be. It was basically kind of like Chris Bosh's role, where he just turned into a jump shooter, and he was either at the 3 line or the elbow, or not the elbow, but 15 feet out. I thought if toward the end of the year he kind of integrated a little bit better, but I thought it was going to take a year or 2 for them to get used to each other anyway, especially with the way they play. Now, I still think that. Don't leave a good thing. You still got LeBron James, who's still in his prime. You got Kyrie Irving. Hopefully he returns from his broken kneecap situation. Then you have a bevy of big men. Now, that might argue for both sides, where you say, okay, it's a crowded situation with Tristan Thompson, Bergeron coming back, and you have Mozgov. I think, you know what, that gives you more time to rehabilitate from your dislocated shoulder, come back strong, don't rush it. I think that's a great opportunity for him to come back and be fresh. But, when you're out there, you want the majority of the minutes. And I don't know how they would actually divvy up the minutes between those 3. If it was me, I would keep Kevin Love, because you can't have enough good big men. So, Cleveland, I think he should return. And just because he opted out, I want to make that clear. Just because he opted out of his contract doesn't preclude the scenario in which Kevin Love returns for either less money or maybe more incentives, or renegotiating his contract, if you will. Option number 4, which I am perfectly fond of, is the Los Angeles Lakers. If you could pair him with Randall and the number 2 pick, which may be Jahlil Okafor, which I think it should be, that is a great front court. And I know Kobe's only going to play 1 year. Hopefully he can play the full year. God knows with his injury history as of late. But that is a very solid team. Jahlil Okafor, rotating Randall. Then you got Kevin Love. I'm not saying championship, but I'm saying that turns into a very, very competitive team. And we may be able to compete for a playoff spot in the 4 to 5 range, I'm thinking. So, I think those are the best 4 options right now, off the top of my head, they're where Kevin Love should go if he chooses to not return to Cleveland. Thank you for watching my video. I'm eagerly awaiting where this man will land. Please feel free to leave comments and or suggestions, or please leave where you think he might end up in this whole free agency that starts July 1st. As always, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm your host, Eldridge Bell II. Thank you again for watching.